let's discuss Starry Night Part 3. We are going to work on the moon and the cypress tree. We're going to actually leave the sky for the end because it's something you can choose to add a lot to or choose to keep pretty simple. So let's get going on the moon and the cypress tree. For the moon, you want to have a little bit of orange mixed with a little bit of yellow on a small round brush. So I'm going to take just some orange and some yellow. This is how I have it laid on here. It's just a lot of orange, or a lot of yellow, just a little bit of orange. And I'm going to start to make a circle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start right about here, and I'm going to end just above that. I don't want to connect the circle all the way, so I'm going to start by making just a circle. That's going to be the beginning of our Van Gogh moon. I'm going to take a little bit more yellow, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to chunk up the middle. I am not loving this brush. Bella stole my other brush this morning. I'm going to have to get a different brush. I think I'll be much happier with this guy. I'm a firm believer that, kind of like in Harry Potter, the wand picks the wizard. The same thing with brushes and artists. There are brushes that some people love and other people hate. Make sure you like your brush. So I'm just going to fill in our moon. How orange you want to make it or how yellow you want to make it is really going to be your choice. I'm going to add a little bit more yellow to mine and kind of shape that moon out a little bit. Now, Van Gogh was known for using a lot of paint. So while you see all of these chunks of paint, in some paintings we would want to get rid of those. In this one we do not. So I just want you to spend a little bit of time making that moon nice and rounded. Using a lot of oranges and yellows mixed together. Once you get your moon where you want it, then it's time to talk a little bit about how we're going to make this look post-impressionist. And to do that, you're going to use that same brush, and I'm going to grab a little orange. I'm talking a little, like maybe 2 bristles worth of orange. And I'm going to do small little brush strokes, and you get used to this. It's going to take a while. Small little brush strokes in my moon, as small as I can make them. Adding a little bit of orange. If you're feeling kind of spicy, I like spicy, you can put some red in it. I'm going to add a little bit of red so you see what that's going to look like. I'm talking, again, like a hair of red. If you want to add a little bit of red to yours. And then our moon is actually finished. Now, the space around the moon glow is not finished, but the moon itself is finished. We're going to ignore the rest of that for right now. We're going to move over here to the cypress tree. Van Gogh cypress tree is very, very, very dark, almost black. Right now we've got a very light green base to it, but we're about to change that. What you're going to do is you are going to be using a mixture of colors and a flat brush. Okay, again, this is a flat brush because it is pressed down right here at the middle to make all of the bristles lay flat. So that's your flat brush. And on that flat brush, I'm going to use brown with just a little bit of green. And I am going to make straight lines down. We're not worried about the brush strokes yet, but we're going to make, I shouldn't say straight lines. These are not straight lines. We're going straight down, but the lines themselves are going to be wavy. Your goal here is not to have type A person, yes, I'm calling you out, my type A friends, type A person lines where all of your lines are going to be the exact same. This is why sometimes having a beverage while you paint helps, because it makes you not worry so much about your straight lines. You can go out of your edge a little bit, but your job is going to be to fill this in with brown and green lines all the way from the very top all the way down. And this is going to take you a while. It's going to take you a long time. You can go from the bottom up if you want. If you look, the way I'm painting this is you can have your paintbrush like this where you can draw flat like this and have a really fat line. But if you turn your brush perpendicular to your canvas, you can then get a much smaller line. You really want to focus on those smaller lines. We want to see all of these brush strokes in here. So you're going to want to make sure you focus on those skinnier lines. If you're struggling with your flat brush, you can use your round brush to do this. Again, same thing I just said before. The brush chooses the artist. So you can absolutely use your smaller brush, your round brush, to put these lines in there. This guy's just my favorite, so I like to stick with him. You're probably thinking, oh, I still see that blue line in the back. You won't. You got to add like 27,000 lines in here. I hope you're counting. A lot of lines. I'm about to throw a twist in here for you. So as you're doing your lines, if you need to push pause and catch up, my lines are getting pretty close to ready, but now it's time for the twist. I want you to add a little bit of black. Oh yeah. Look at, oh, how pretty. I love black in art. Is one of my favorite colors. Just has so much dimension to it. These lines do not have to go all the way from top to bottom, and we are going to talk about how to add in those little brush strokes Van Gogh was famous for in just a minute. I'm loving where my tree is right now. So if you're not here, please push pause. But if you are here, I'm now going to take that round brush and I'm going to focus on making those little brush strokes. I'm going to start at the top. I did not add any paint to my brush, but I'm going to go all the way down and mix these colors in. Not mixing them like I want them to be all one color, but I want to have those brush strokes. And you can throw in a couple long brush strokes or just some short ones. But what you're doing is you are taking all of these amazing colors you just put on here and you're letting them be together, which is like the exact opposite of what we can currently do during self-quarantine. So take those lines, follow your waves, paint those in. If you notice you have too much black, easy. Wipe your brush off, add some more green. If you notice you have too much green, easy. Grab another color. You're going to work on these small little lines all over. Don't go side to side. Sorry if I scared some of you just now. Somebody probably just spilled their wine. By the way, if you are drinking wine, please be careful that you do not rinse your paintbrush out in your wine glass. So as I've got this all covered in now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to go make some longer lines. Just a couple. I don't need a lot. All right, there is part 3 of our video.